There are going to be situations in your life where your health or the health of others is in jeopardy or even peril. Knowing how to handle these situations is a key thing, but sometimes the world around us feeds us misinformation on accident, and as a result, we do more harm than good. So, in times like this, you need to know what you really need to do to survive and not just hack it out. So, allow us to show you 11 life hacks that can help you survive. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 11, the ice pack. Let's start out with something that everyone likely has done in their life and not in a way that's good. When you have a bruise on your leg or your body is sore, so on and so forth, you're told to put ice on it. This is a common medical practice and is backed up by various people as a way of helping your body over time. However, what people sometimes do is put the ice directly on the skin, or they'll put it in something like a plastic bag and then put that on the skin. And while this may help a little, you're also risking giving your skin a cold burn, which is something you don't want on top of the injury that you already have. So, if you are in this situation, you need to take your bag of ice and wrap it in a cloth and put the cloth on your skin. That will ease the cold to ensure you don't get a burn, but still help you out overall. Number 10, rubbing a person with a fever with alcohol or vinegar. This one honestly sounds disgusting in its own right, but it's something that people have been told to do because they're told that these two can help fight the fever and thus make it beautiful. So, why is it wrong? Well, there's multiple reasons for that actually. Vinegar and alcohol are absorbed into the blood. Alcohol rubbing may create intoxication, while vinegar will raise acidity too much. Either way, you're putting your body in more danger by doing this. It is especially dangerous for children, which makes it something you definitely don't want to do. The way to actually fight a fever is to go and drink a lot of water and make sure the room itself is at a cooler temperature. Number 9, lifting up an unconscious person. Having someone go unconscious in front of you can be a scary thing, and it's natural, very natural in fact, to cycle through what you're supposed to do and panic because you can't remember. But the one thing you are absolutely not supposed to do is go and lift up that unconscious person. If it is a serious condition, lifting them might cause the body to do something bad. If it's a seizure or a fainting spell, you could aggravate the spasm and thus cause even more damage. Not to mention, if there's a broken bone, especially if it's a spine, you could make the damage worse. The best thing to do is leave it to the professionals, or if you know it's something like fainting, you raise their feet up and get the circulation flowing back into the top part of their body. Number 8, treating burns. Sometimes you have to wonder who came up with some of these life hacks because they're just dumb at points, such as using butter or sour cream to go and heal burns you might have. First off, it's a waste of food. Good food. Second, it doesn't work as well as you think it does. The only reason you'll feel better after this is because the substance is cold on the burn. The danger here, though, is that butter or sour cream dries and creates a film, disrupting thermal exchange. Heat goes deeper and does more damage. So you're actually making things worse instead of better. If you burn yourself, the proper procedure is to go and hold your burn area under cold water for about 15 minutes, and don't pop any blister that forms that'll leave you open to an infection. Number 7, setting a bone. We'd be willing to bet that many of you had broken a bone in the past. There's nothing to be ashamed of, it happens to millions of people all over the world all of the time. Anyway, depending on the bone that is broken, you might have the urge to pop it back in, or try and reset it yourself in order to avoid the hospital. Bad idea, because if you do it wrong, you're going to injure yourself even worse. What you need to do is immobilize the injured limb and get the victim to the hospital. The limb must not be set forcefully. Instead, bandage it into a comfortable position, immobilizing not only the place of the possible fracture, but the two closest joints as well. It might be a hassle, but in the long term, you definitely want professional doctors and nurses helping you out so you can get the bone set the proper way. Number 6, warmth to a sprain. There are many ways you can injure your body, as you likely know, and one is by spraining something. It's kind of a middle ground of sorts in terms of doing damage, but it hurts nonetheless. But what some people will tell you is that to treat it, you need to put warmth on it. But they have that backwards. Heat allows more blood to flow, and that will lead to the swelling of the sprain, which is obviously something you do not want. Instead, apply cold in the first days after an injury. It will lessen the inflammation and pain. Ensure you have a minimum load on the injured limb for at least 48 hours. By ensuring it won't swell more, you'll get back to your sprained part more quickly. Number 5. Vomiting up poison. This one is classic for certain reasons, because if you're poisoned, the obvious answer is to getting rid of it is to get it out of your body, right? And so throwing up is a logical way of doing that, right? Wrong. If you've been poisoned with acid, alkali, or other caustic substances, this will actually make things much worse for you. Plus, you might not be able to do much such an action depending on the poison within you. What you need to do is call an ambulance immediately, and if you feel the need to throw up, do so after drinking warm water and nothing else. You do not want to intensify the pain of the poison by drinking other substances. Number 4. Getting something out of your eye. There are few things more annoying than getting something in your eye and not being able to get it out. Most times it's something harmless like dirt or skin cells or whatever, but sometimes you do find yourself with something more dangerous in your eye and you're wondering what to do to get it out. The instinct is to try to get it out yourself, but if you do even the slightest thing wrong, you can find yourself with even more eye damage. Not good. Cover the eye with gauze and call a doctor. Only if it's a chemical burn should you immediately wash the eye with water. Otherwise, just let the doctor treat it. They will be able to see what's wrong and go from there. Number 3. Pulling out objects from wounds. Here is another gut instinct one that everyone should know is false. If you have been stabbed by an object, be it a weapon, glass, or other sharp object, you do not want to pull it out. First of all, it'll hurt. A lot. Second, by pulling it out, you'll be risking massive blood loss because the wound is now not sealed. All doctors will tell you to keep the foreign object in the wound and wait for surgeons to remove it. That way, should something go wrong in regards to blood loss or something else, they will be prepared to fix it. Number 2. Ointments. Another classic life hack that people advise is that when you are injured, you provide various ointments to the wound itself. A wound will better heal in fresh air, while ointments create unwanted moisture, which can lead to more problems. What you'll want to do is clean the wound with water and fresh soap, and then dry it off and put an equally dry bandage on it. That way the wound stays dry and can heal quicker. Number 1. Stitches versus skin glue. In case of a true emergency, you might find yourself with a major cut that needs to be treated by yourself or someone next to you. The impulse you get is to stitch it up like you see on doctor shows, but the problem is this takes a long time and it can cause a lot of pain, as well as be problematic if you're not good at sewing people up. The better option is to use skin glue. If used properly, it can be used in seconds and seal you up without further injury or pain. So if you don't have skin glue in your first aid kit, get it. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the life hacks that might have been taught before, but might not actually be as useful as you have been told? Which of these have you been guilty of doing in the past on yourself or others? Do you understand now why it's bad to go and do some of these things? Which of these are you going to make sure to remember for when the next time comes? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.